Hello, I'm back again. But now I'm talking about. I was talking. I have a previous message was a message for the president, and the next one was for the Jay-Z and Beyonce from Jesus Christ. Now I am introducing another message for certain leader in Africa, um, according to how the world is designed and the Luciferic plan is going, and I wanted to open your eyes to many of the folks in Africa of the truth that is going on, and that even if you talking about a form of thing have to change, you got to know exactly who you have to address your concern, because we might be addressing our concern to the wrong people, and that's what we've been doing. So let's start. When the Rothschild have possession of France, of the French government, they establish the branches such a way that they will be able to govern part of the world in a way that those parts of the world will be subservient to France. The same thing with Great Britain, but the the colonization of Great Britain was more direct. It was direct in a certain way that they will give you the authority to do your things, but they must have the interest out of everything that you do. The French colonization was a little bit different. They wanted to do the things, and they give you the percentage they believe you're entitled. Okay, so a little bit different here. Now, the point is this: the Rothschild have control of the monetary system in entire Europe, even in Germany. They are the one who sponsor Adolf Hitler to do his things. So he started going sideways. He wanted to control the entire world. They said, no, 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 no. You don't understand the plan here, my friend. We didn't put you there to control the entire world. You know, we want you to create a war so that people can be impoverished, and that the stock market can go down so that we can purchase all the stock market and own the entire world. That's the reason why we put you there. So now the same people mounted a force against him. So you have to understand what's going on. You have to understand what's going on. Soros, who put Barack Obama in power, he is a member of the Rothschild. George Soros and other people. Their mission was to look young good politicians that they can use and put in power. And Barack Obama is talking about doing the same thing. We're looking for young politicians who can do the same people. I'm looking for a message that Jesus Christ gonna have for him as well. You know, because I'll make a video when the message come. I'll make video for him. So George Soros did the same. They're part of the Rothschild family. When I say family, I'm talking about government, Luciferic government. The Rothschild, they have power up into the Vatican, because the Vatican is where Lucifer has his throne in this earth, which is part of the Jesuits, because the Jesuits is what is the occult in which our Pope is part of. So Lucifer have entered all religions. Even the Jew, they don't preach the Torah in the synagogue. They have a different book that was written by the 70s wise people in a synagogue. They went to a so-called Mount Sinai looking for the same God that Abraham met. I wonder if they went to the right place. So they met Lucifer there because God can allow Lucifer sometimes to present himself as an angel of light. By the way, every other person that you remember in the Bible who spoke to anyone was not God. It was the angel or the Spirit of God. No one see God or meet God just like that. Even the bushes, it was the angel of God. Even writings in the bricks was the Spirit of God. So you have to know that Lucifer is at work. So now the French was able to recruit when they gave the independence into the African nation. You know, Germany have control of certain part of Africa when Lucifer was in power. So when they lost in 1945, the French took over and the British. Now, the business was what? Make Africa under control. That's the business. You come up with the colony and make sure that Africa is under control. The same way they came here in America and say, we want you to create racial differences. And we want you to create classes so people know who they are. And we're going to control them through money. That's what they did. And that's a plan that you cannot fight and win. It's already in place and established. The only person who can do that is Jesus Christ when he comes back. You can talk about whatever you want to talk, which is also true. That what matter you do, as an African American, you're still gonna be an African American. That's correct, because it's designed like that. Just like that. Now, when you go back in Africa, what they did, when they used to kill Negroes, they used to do it behind the scene. But in Africa, when they used to kill our ancestor, it was official. It means they come and cut the head and post it and said, whoever rise again, gonna have his head cut. Or either they will shoot you in public, like a national event. This is a person who rise up against the system, so we sentenced him. He went to court. He was found acquitted for all the charges. So the sentence, death by shooting. That's the way we have experienced our ancestors being killed. The Negro here back then, it was on the back scene. And never knew who did it. Oh, did it like that, but it was not really officially done. But back in Africa, it was. So we have experienced the same kind of thing in different ways. So when they did that, the mission was to put Africa down, make sure that they are under control financially. So they came up with this independence. Okay? The governor of France in each country, you go out, the governor of the Great Britain in each country, you go out, and also so and so. But the financial thing was, we must have, in some of the country, back then, we must have about 70% of the GDP. I mean, Astonishing, just because people want to have independence. What independence? They never had one. Financially, they were still dependent. So they came out, well, okay, now we must have a money that is controlled. So the French create, based on the plan of the Rothschild, they created a monetary system that they're going to use in each of the colony in Africa. Those people are still the same people. Either Great Britain or France, at a certain point, they are the same people, because at a certain point, they'll tell you this is how far you can go. Because they follow the Luciferian program. Luciferian program. People must cry Gaddafi. Gaddafi was one of the guys, after Thomas Sankara was killed. Thomas Sankara was also a leader who came up against the system. When he went before the UN, United Nations was created by whom? By the Rothschild. So the United Nations is controlled by them. They control the world, that family. So you come before the people who control the world. Back then, his name was Thomas Sankara, and you speak against the system. So they say we need to take him out. We need to take him out. Now, why Gaddafi was taken out? He have a lot of money, and he start owning money to many countries in Europe. What happened? Money control people. So if he continue, he becomes so powerful, and he start talking about creating his own satellite system, his own monetary system in Africa, and creating the United States of Africa. That is against the Rothschild Luciferian program. So Lucifer made a mandate, he got to go. He got to go. We know he died, so I mean Lucifer went before God and said, this man have to go. So what truly killed him is not because he was the baddest person around the world, but he was also using dark magic, pretty much, at a certain point, to save himself from attack, disappearing from one place to another. That is a magic that is used in the spiritual world. Like if God sent Moses to come and talk to me, Moses can come with his human form, and then when he's finished, he can disappear and go end up to somewhere else, to heaven. So he have that kind of magic, but it was given to him by demons. You know, he got it from India. So the point is, one of the reasons why he ended up in hell as well is because of that. But he was a good man. He wanted change in Africa, complete change. But the Luciferian plan take him out. So now Africa is completely there. The leader they put in place, there is nothing those leaders can do. When I say nothing, I mean there's nothing they can change at this point. The only thing those leaders in Africa can do is to revolt against the Luciferian plan, which will lead into the suffering of the population. That's what it is. So now some of them understood it because they were choosing to be there in power. Like in the University of Sorbonne, they recruit talented people that have a star to power and prepare them for power, like they did with Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel Macron was prepared by the Luciferic program to power. The same way Barack Obama was prepared. That's why Barack Obama supported him, because they're the same kind of people prepared to power. That's what it is. So now they recruited many of some of the leaders that they presented and prepared to put in power. And they put them in power not to leave. They come and say, well, it is time now to go. They don't want those leaders to go, because they got to make sure that the next person is one of them. That's why those leaders are there. And then people, keep talking, well, he's been there for two. You have to understand the big picture. It happened in certain country where the people that they put in power left, and there were other people that came in between. And every time there's somebody that come is not part of the Luciferic plan, they take him out. Like Cote d'Ivoire was one of the example. They take him out, and there were like 2 or 3 presidents that came after the person that they put in power. They all gone. Some dead, some just left with honor, other in jail with their honor. So they put a person that comes from the financial world, like in Cote d'Ivoire, is part of the New World Order. So they put him there. Now, in certain places in Africa, those leaders are still there. Those leaders are still there. They know the truth. They know there's nothing they can truly do other than sacrificing themselves. And they are not willing to do that. So I'm going to sacrifice myself for whom? For what? I'm going to do that. But that's actually the kind of people we wanted to see. Like, if people start talking, start working together, then it will be an immense suffering. So sometimes don't ask for things that you cannot handle. Zimbabwe tried to do that. It didn't work in Zimbabwe. I mean, it worked, but with a lot of suffering. You tried to come back and say, well, I need all the white folks to leave and then give the land to all. Okay, good. They stopped all the funding to him. They said, okay, we'll see how you're going to survive. We're going to give those land to your people, but we're going to see how they're going to make money out of it. So he went to a lot of situations and was forced to sell to have a deal with China, so China can start coming over there and do what they do best. I mean, they come in, they suck down your natural resources and build the places and give you some money. That's what they do. Because they have a lot of people over there that need those natural resources in China, but they have the money. So that's what they've been doing in Africa. So now, most of those leaders, they were prepared. From, like in France, at the time there was the Rose-Croix, which is another part of the 13th occult of the entire Illuminati vehicle. So they formed some of the leaders until the Freemason became the highest one. Some of them also became member of those chambers with practices to maintain the power. So they know what's going on. Those people are in place. You cannot come there and take them out just like that. Like any country, any colonies, that is any territory that is controlled by the French, you cannot just become a leader there without French saying so. Yes. Because the French just don't do it because of French. They're doing it because of the plan in place by the Rothschild family that's controlled by Lucifer. I mean, if French don't do what is right in those countries, even French will be penalized. So they have to do that. They have to do that. So that's why you see those leaders are still there. The only thing those leaders can do for those nations is to sacrifice themselves, something that they don't gonna do. Because even if they go, what are they gonna put there? They're gonna put the same kind of people. Look what is going on now in Ghana. The same thing. Look what's going on in Gabon. The same thing. Look what is going on in Democratic Republic of Congo. The same thing. They put the people there. The mission is to put Africa under control. You have enough for people to survive. That's all for now. You know, few nations around the world control the entire economy of the entire world, and you have people like Bill Gates who have his wealth that is more than sometimes 10 countries in Africa combined. See, you have some country that have a GDP of 27 billion. Okay, Mark Zuckerberg can completely purchase one country and own a country if he wants. He can own. I can go and purchase it because he's worth about 33 or 37 billion dollars now. So there are certain countries that make 27 billion GDP a year. Other countries even make less than that. So it is something that people must know, that those leaders, they have to turn back to Jesus Christ when it's still time. Many of them are in hell. Many of them are in hell, in waiting for the judgment to be cast into the lake of fire. You see them there. They look like miserable people, and the only thing they can tell you is that I don't want no one else to come here. But do those people, when you were alive here, will you listen to somebody like me? No, you'll be doing the same thing. And now I'm saying to the president of Cameroon, personally, I know how the world functions. I know how the court functions. I know how you got in power. But if you continue to be playing, to make me sick, to communicate with the fellow Cameroonian here and African here, to be accomplices to put poison in my food, you might end up like Saul, who killed himself, and all the people that surrounded him, because there was too much focus on one individual. I want to give you, be very careful. God life live in me. Jesus Christ live in me. Anyone who's gonna come against me might not come out the way he believe he will. So my advice for you and all your spies, the people who call to try to find out what I do, you be very careful. Do your thing, do your time over there. The way that you sign up with the French folks who put you in power there, according to the Rothschild Luciferic government for the New World Order, do your time. When your time comes, whatever they're going to try to do to you, or they're going to take you out, whatever they're going to do, you just have to make sure to turn your back to Jesus Christ when there's still time. Because those things have an end. Okay? They put Mobutu in power. That's what they did. When they removed Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba, who was against the world system, they put him in power. What did they do? When Mobutu became too much wealthy, he started thinking that he can control things, because they never understood. The devil controls this world. You have two ways. Either you die, or either you live with honor and you do your lot of life, like the president of Senegal did, Abdou Diouf. He did that. Or either you die. There's not too many choice you have here. You know, the point that you're doing, you're focusing on one individual. I've left messages, and I say to you, go in an oracle, find the person that you believe God wants to be your replacement, and leave the power peacefully, because it will come to an end one day. Don't try to do the thing that Saul did. Too much mad that even when they tell him, stop following David, stop trying to kill David, he just not listening. At the end, everybody around him, including his son, die. He have no choice than killing himself. Is that the end you want to see? So start thinking. You're already close to 90-year old. You did all that you're supposed to do in life. A wise man gonna take his retirement somewhere and say, I did my time. I just don't understand why men never learn. I know the word. There's so far you can go. You're never gonna be a Rothschild. You're never gonna be the people that control this world. You're always gonna be an African president that they can take down at any moment, and you did your time, as they're gonna say to you. So, what is your problem? It doesn't matter how much you believe you have. If they want to take all your money that you have, they can do that. They did it to other leaders. So what's your problems? So I'm telling you the truth here. I know how this world functions. All those leaders that are talking, it is now time for Africa to start having. My friend, you talking to the wrong people. You're talking to the wrong people, the French people. You're talking to the wrong people, because according to this actual president, it will not happen. If it was Marine Le Pen, it might have happened, because she is against the world system. But they made sure that she don't win. She didn't win, because they want the person in place. With Macron in power there, forget about it. Forget about it. If you guys wanted to die for famine, if you're ready for that, no problems. They're going to tax you in a degree that you have no ideas. You're not going to be able to sell your stuff because too much money. And what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to pay your people. That's exactly what they want. And what they're going to do? They're going to come up with some spy and put them in your country, and then pay them money to revolt and support them, and make sure that the social media are there with them. That's how they're going to take you out. That's exactly what they did to Mobutu. And then when Kabila came in power, Kabila came and said, okay, you talk the guy out. Now we want you to work the way you want, the way we sign up in the beginning. Kabila said, well, I'm not too much in agreement with that. Now the question is, do those killings are even justified? Or it was just people on the mission? You see, if I even told you that even Abraham Lincoln was not truly killed the way people believe he was killed, that it was a scene, what do people gonna say? That he came for the mission, somebody who came from nowhere, they put him there in power completely? Kabila, the same thing. They simulate somebody death. So to put somebody called his son that nobody never seen, that's how they prepare the so-called son of the actual president of Gabon. The same thing. Many countries have to pray. Like the country of Cameroon have to pray because people around, I'm opening your eyes here. Do not flatter yourself. This word, there's so much you can go far. There's so much you can do. Because Lucifer is under control. In here, he controls everything. He has his signature on a satellite that is in space. We didn't get that knowledge from the angel of God. We got that knowledge from those Luciferic demons. So he have too much. He can say, I made this word what it is today, so you have to praise me. He can say that. And I believe that's what he said. He's saying. But what people don't understand is that every single knowledge God allowed him to give to man, go to God first. Because God will have all the knowledge. That's something people don't understand. So he's clever. And God says he's very clever. The knowledge that people have. Look how the satellite are above. You tell me the way we were created as primer. Primer. How are we going to create? I mean, as primer. I mean, we went to school, yes. Think. The Bible says when Adam became acquainted with the angel of God, the angel of God was the people showing Adam. The first wheel was created by Adam. The first wheel. And it was shown to Adam by angels. How to make crops and farm was shown to Adam by angels. We have the knowledge, but at a certain point, creativity is something that must be inspired from above or given from above. And many of the technology that we have today didn't go through God, because when Adam and Eve separated themselves from God, that's what it is. Now we're going into the devil to get all that technology. But the devil have to ask God for permission to give that. And it go according to God's plan. Like the technology that people will be able to communicate in a distance. God cannot allow that now because it's not the time. The technology in which people will not be able to die, God will not allow that now. He's going to wait into the right time. The technology to curb cancer, God will not allow that now, but he will allow that in a specific time in the future. The technology to cure like the HIV, God will not allow that now, but will allow that in the future. The biotechnology, I meant, for cancer and HIV. So far, that's what is happening. And those leaders, they just don't want to listen. They believe that they are different from others. You're not different from nowhere there. Stalin in Russia was a gangster. He was a gangster. The Rothschild Luciferic machine talking from being a gangster to be Stalin. Okay? So because they have reversed the system in Russia, in all USRS, And then they brought somebody called Stalin, who should have known that Stalin was a gangster. He was. So pretty much he was a criminal that they put in power. Somebody that can control. Because they can always tell him, remember where you come from, Mr. Stalin. So when he start doing things his own way, they also take him out. So they use all of those leaders. Stalin, Mussolini, and Hitler, all of those, they used all of them. That's what they did. And when the time comes, they take you out. The same thing with the president over there of Cameroon. He believed, my friend, when the New World Order going to decide to take you out, you're going to be out. I don't care if you put 10 gate to get to you. You know, you can just go in Cote d'Ivoire and ask to Laurent Gbagbo, he'll tell you. Ask to Laurent Gbagbo, you can say, well, the presidency was built by the French. That's how they were able to get there. Well, they have access to everything. If they want to take you out, they will take you out. When the time comes for somebody else. Those people, they are in a mission. They're in a mission. They never forgot anything. Attention to detail. The devil is very organized. Well, he tried to be organized like God, because God is extremely organized. So the devil tried to be like God. So he tried to be like God. Remember when the French denied the offer of Lucifer to turn their kingdom to him. They refused. They said, okay, we will come in your generation. It will happen. And it came to pass. The French Revolution happened. They killed the Louis XIV and his wife. They killed them. They did the same thing in Russia. They killed all I mean, they have control of this world, my friend. What we're seeing is just so small. So small. The mission is to make sure that they put people under financial control, financial stress. There are many things that many countries can use. Oh yeah, I have oil here now. It's okay. We're gonna see how you're gonna take that oil from the ground back up. You ask for loan, don't give him loan. You ask for money. We need people here to come here. No. Now, when you start talking the language, it means when you start saying, well, can you come in and put your investment here so that you can, then that is okay, you start talking. Now they can come and suck up all your oil and give you just a little bit of what they believe you should have. That's why many countries in Africa are still the way they are, poor. It doesn't mean that they don't have natural resources. But when they ask for money to exploit it, they say, no, there's no money for it. But we can do this. If you can take it and send it to us, for us to work on it and sell it back to you, maybe we can do something. Sometimes I believe some of our leaders, they're in place, they just a certain point, they just stupid people. Because when you know the truth the way I know, you should just get the money you have and get the heck out of there. I just don't know exactly what they're doing. You get the money you have, you're already wealthy, get the heck out of there. Because you don't going to change nothing. You know, Gaddafi tried that. Gaddafi will have, I mean, I can talk about Sankara and Patrice Lumumba and all of those people who died. But well, that was all time. They didn't even have the money. and the protection that that Gaddafi had. But they were able to take Gaddafi out. They are very good on creating situation in each country if they want. They just have to do this. They just have to make sure that the money is not anymore printed in France. So now you don't have money enough to pay your people. And the people are start going, okay, company cannot have any more. That's exactly what they did in Cote d'Ivoire. Company cannot pay the employees, and the employee cannot feed their family. The family cannot go into a market and purchase stuff. People in the market cannot sell the things. It's a complete chaos. So people revolt. They want you to go. That's what it is. Now, what they do, they infiltrate agents. They start giving strategy, and then somebody come and say, I am the leader of the revolution, and I'm requesting the president to leave the place. They already sponsor him, they already give him everything he need. And then somebody call you and say, Mr. President, I'm your friend. Based on what I know, it's better for you to go. If somebody call you like that, say thank you. And take your luggage and get the heck out of there, because he's already telling you. You know, that's what it is. You know, it is just the truth. So when I see somebody like Biya, I say, my friend, you did your time. We are the new feature. I understand how the world functions. I understand how the Rothschild made this world the way it is. Instead of going against people like me, you should be working with me. You should be listening to people like us, because we are the future of this world. I understand how things work. But this is just some of you people, you just don't get it. You don't gonna change the Rothschild Luciferic machine of controlling this world. If they were able to take down a country like France, to take down a country like Russia, to take down a country like the United States, to take down, I mean, they have control of all those countries. What make you think that a lot of, a country in Africa will do something? They already have a plan for that. Keep Africa the way it is. Even in South Africa, as soon as Mandela died, I said, okay, good. They put somebody there, do what you gotta do. Even South Africa is not progressing the way they're supposed to. Even Gabon, where things was working well, they put somebody there to make sure that people are under control, financially stressed. Well, you're talking about Congo, Congo Brazzaville is also under control. The only thing he can keep the power, all these people that keeping the power, which way? A lot of sacrifices. And that's what they want to do. They put you under stress, and they say, well, you want to stay there for long? Nobody else, you have to give some. Serving the same God, the same God of darkness, is what it is. And people must be able to know this truth. And just not talk to talk, but you have to be able. If those leaders, if it was not Paul Biya, it would be some me back something, or Obua something. Somebody, they will choose somebody. Okay, the same thing with Ali Bongo. If it was not him, it will be somebody. There's always somebody that the devil gonna find to do his work. Always. If it was not Sassou Nguesso, it will be somebody. So we are talking here to wrong leaders, to wrong people. We have to talk not only to the French folk, we have to talk to the kingdom of hell, because they are the one in control. Darkness. You have to pray. When I say talk, you have to pray. By talking about we are not financially free, that's true, we are not. But how to change it? It's not easy as you think. Because even the French folks, they have to do that. If they don't do that, they're going to lose control of those colonies. You're going to hear like, okay, they're going to give it to a different nation. They're going to say, okay, the French don't want to do what we want. Okay, now, okay, those countries can have their own money. But they're going to put the person there to make sure that most of the interest go to the bank. And the country is under control. That's what it is. It's just what these people are about. You're going to talk about the Bolloré family. The Bolloré family is the branch that was burned after the revolution in France. They are a branch of the Rothschild. The same thing as the Soros here in America. But my friend, wake up. President Trump is part of the Knight Templar. It's just a different section of the cult within the Illuminati vehicle. You know, different love, different vision, different personality, comes different stuff. God is working with all of these folks, but they're telling you that God chose Trump, knowing exactly his background, because God knows you cannot live in this world. Get the level in which you want to get gleaming. If you don't deal with Lucifer, you will deal with him. When you start having 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, now they will tell you, in order for you to advance in the next level in that investment, you're going to start meeting with people that have the hand already with Lucifer. They will tell you, we can't do this, my friend. You apply. No. You wait for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you continue to persist. They'll put you aside and say, my friend, you don't understand. If you join us, then we speak the same language. That's how it is. So you don't get in the level where our president is without being part of these things. Investments like that. And all of that was put in place to control people, to make sure that financially they are under control. So now the question that people are asking me, who's going to come and solve all of this, Gabriel? You're talking, yes, Jesus Christ. That's why the second return is not an option. It is a mandate. Because this is not the way God designed earth in the beginning. He designed earth as the Garden of Eden, where men will be able to communicate with angels, so angels can direct them into the thing that please God. But since the disobedience of the word of God happened in the garden, the seed of Adam follow all generation after him. So instead of going to God, we're going to Lucifer to ask for wisdom and knowledge. You're going to see some people from those 13 occult telling you that they are praising Lucifer because he's the only being who revolted against God, who created his own kingdom, and who brought knowledge, power in this world. So they are grateful that Lucifer gave them all of this life that they have. So they have to praise him. You'll be surprised. And when you start understanding a certain logic, you say, well, maybe they're right, maybe. But you also have to look the alternative. What was the alternative? People don't talk too much about the alternative because the alternative there's not a big book for the alternative. It was just the beginning, the start. But the alternative was We're supposed to be directed by angels. It means we're supposed to have our spiritual eyes open and angel direct us. This is what you got to do. This is not the time yet for a computer. This is not the time yet for this. The time will come. That's the way it's supposed to be. And I believe when Jesus Christ return, that's how he's going to go back. Those who are going to be existing in this planet will have the spiritual eyes open. They will be able to see the things that those before never have seen, and also communicate with angels and take order according to how Jesus Christ will put the people that he wants to govern this earth to govern. I don't even think that there will be a military existence when Jesus Christ returns. There will be no need, because angels will be in place. They're probably going to be a form of security, military security, just to make sure that people follow order, because there's still people, even when Jesus Christ will come back, they're going to try to play sense. You know? They're going to try to play sense with Jesus Christ. You know, you're going to see it, you'll be surprised. People walking and say, let's go against these governments. We have to march on the street because God gave us the freedom. You'll be very surprised. You'll be like, wow. You know, so those kind of people will not have any place in Jesus Christ's new world. So they either will be cast out or reformed into the new sheriff in town, you know. So, but those are things that are yet to come. So I'm asking all the world and people in the leader in Africa to give their heart and mind to Jesus Christ, because they cannot change any things according to the way that the new world order is stationed, and the plan and vision. There's nothing you guys can do. The only thing you can do is start doing exactly what Gaddafi started doing for the well-being of people. Sacrifice yourself. Just don't be talk. Don't just don't stay there and talk and talk. You have to sacrifice yourself. And know that tomorrow I can be killed. And you accept it. If you cannot do that, you're wasting your time. And then you're fooling people. Because I only see two things here. Sacrificing yourself and knowing that tomorrow you can be killed. Or be removed. When you start talking. You know. So I hope that people go in my channel, and I'll be posting these videos on different way of doing my video, different complete ways. So I will sectionize it in, like this one is already on a certain level, so I'm gonna cut it off and I go, and then I hope that I pray for people so people can give their heart and mind to Jesus Christ. There's no other truth. I know habit is like a drugs. Habit is like a drugs. When you start, you have habit, it becomes a drugs. You cannot pass out without it. If you do white magic, black magic for power, it becomes a natural habit for you. I mean, you have to do it. If you don't do it, nothing can. You lose self-esteem. I know many of the people over there in LA and all these places, they're doing that. But there will be a lot of conversions in that regions. In LA, a lot of conversion to Jesus Christ. The same way as there's going to be a lot of conversion in Arabia, where there's more Muslim will be converted. They'll be the one that will become more Christian closer to the end days, because they are the one that Lucifer is using to do is dirty work. So they will be the one that will turn out to Christ at the last days. And people like us will be the one. If we don't pay attention, we're going to lose our soul. So we have to be very careful of not only pinpointing hand on other, because Jesus Christ said Lucifer going to use the seed of Ishmael to create disaster into this world. It does not mean that it is the Ishmaelite seed that is causing those, but it's just Lucifer using it. He's using them. So many of them will be changed because we are looking, pinpointing hand on others, but we're not looking our own fault. And that might be a problem for us. Because when people don't look for his own fault, most likely he will think that he's okay. So we have to be careful. Because so far, that's why the word of Jesus Christ is talking about is same. So I'll see you next time. And I hope that you have a very good 4th of July, that you play safe, you pray, and then you don't do stupid things that are going to hurt other people. So, and I hope that everything come in place, and that you have what you're supposed to have. But you got to pray. So I'll see you next time. This is the Conflict Global Consulting YouTube channel, and I hope to see you. You can reach me at Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Madspace, Instagram, and many other social media that you potentially know. I want you to go and donate money to the fundraising I'm making for the charity for the Angel Age Medical Foundation IT Inc. You go to the Facebook, you're gonna see that if you type fundraising for the Angel Age Medical Foundation IT Inc., you're gonna see that there, and then you do your donation. I wrote exactly what is for, and that's me supporting the charitable endeavor that the foundation is doing. And I post some of the video that also show everything in the past that was done. So you go there on Facebook and type it fundraising for the NJOH Medical Foundation and IT Inc. You'll see that fundraising page, and donate what you can donate. Even if $1 is good, $2, $3, $4, whatever it is. You know, every penny counts. All right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Gabriel and Icon of the Conflict Global Consulting, the charity for medical, pharmaceutical, biotechnology, medical device, and clinical practice innovation. God bless you for this 4th of July, and I'll see you next time.